Just wait, yeah. So we just talked about different items related to knowledge. We had a discussion online and we talked about different categories of knowledge like revealed knowledge, intuitive knowledge, empirical knowledge, then rational knowledge, experiential knowledge, experimental knowledge, then embedded knowledge, tacit knowledge, then a posteriori knowledge, a priori knowledge, and different types of knowledge we have taught. And we also discuss different terms. I just sent you some videos yesterday. I do not know whether all of you have already watched those videos or not. Or you might have got time yesterday because you had to submit your work. So you can just watch those videos in which I have explained different terms and concepts such as information, knowledge, reason, skill, wisdom, etc. Now we are going to look at two topics. First one is sources of knowledge, and second one is ways of knowing or methods of knowing. I may just stop this presentation. I want to ask you what are the different sources of knowledge, because you might have got some ideas on different sources of knowledge. So I just stop this presentation. I want to throw the ball into your court. Tell me, what are the different sources of knowledge? From where you're getting knowledge? What are the different centers
Books,
of knowledge? Yes, Farsana, I just started answering the question. Yes, Farsana, what are the different sources? Yes, tell me.
books,
Yes, books are some one of the most famous, most popular, or most used sources of knowledge. Whenever we are asked to tell about sources of knowledge, I think that the first thing which would come to our mind will be books. Yes, thank you, Farsana. Then any other source?
The elder peoples and teachers. Elder
Yes.
people and teachers. Elder people and teachers.
Yeah. Thank you, Brenda. Elder people and teachers, we can just use a term, experts. Yes, Brenda, experts. Yes, yes. Am I right, Brenda?
yes, sir.
Yes, experts. Some people who have got more knowledge than us. In the words of Vygotsky, what term we can use there?
MKO, more knowledge.
Yes, MKOs, more knowledgeable others. MKOs. Yes, thank you, Farsana. More knowledgeable others. That is experts. You can see some people who have got more expertise than us in some topics. And I may tell you, never feel any sort of shame in your mind to get knowledge from some people who may be inferior to you in the case of formal education. There is no need for keeping any sort of shame in our mind. So, books, experts, experts means elder people, teachers, some more knowledgeable others. Any other source of knowledge?
For media,
Yes,
Newspaper,
Nishida. Yeah,
media.
Nishida. Yes, 1 minute, Shehima. Nishida has given the answer. Media. Yes, media. Then, Shehima, what answer
Yes,
you have? Yes.
journal, newspaper.
Yes,
Newspaper.
newspapers. Yeah, this can be yes, wonderful, Nishita and Shekima. Thank you. So media, newspapers. Yeah, then TV, television, radio. All these items can be included in this media, different types of media, maybe printed media, then electronic media. So we get knowledge from these sources, electronic media or print media, or we can tell media. So books, experts, media, then
Peer group.
yes, peer group. Yeah. So peer group, from our friends we can get knowledge. And this peer group can be included in MKOs because in some topics, some of our friends are more expert, or some of our friends might have got more expertise in some topic, and they are MKOs to others. For example, when you do some works related to ICT, I think all of you are consulting some of your friends in your classroom. Yeah, am I right? I think last year I gave you some work such as creation of documentary, and which needed it needed some ICT assistance. I think some of you had consulted or did consult some of your friends because they have got more expertise than you in ICT. So they become MKOs. So again, we can include them in the term experts. Yes, am I right? Right. Okay. Then any other. So books, experts. Experts means elder people, teachers, parents. That means more knowledgeable others. Maybe our seniors, maybe our own classmates, our own peers, maybe our own local peer group. We will tell lots of things about different social agencies of education during your fourth semester, and we will discuss different things which we gain from our local peer groups and our campus peer groups during the fourth semester. So they can also be included in experts. See, experts does not mean that some people who have got some formal knowledge in some items. Any person can be considered an expert if he or she has got some deep ideas on some particular topic. So books, then experts, then media. Anything else?
Sir, online
നമ്മളെ
resources.
തന്നെ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്.
Websites.
Yes, experiences. Okay, that's a wonderful answer. I think it is given by Asia. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Asia, it's a
Yes,
wonderful
sir.
answer. Our own experiences. Yeah, that's a wonderful source of knowledge because we told about empirical knowledge. Yes, we told about empirical knowledge, and we get this knowledge, a posteriori knowledge or empirical knowledge from our own experiences. And you see that all of us at times tell that experience is the best teacher. So experience, right? Then I think Shahima has given some other answer. Yeah,
Online resources.
yeah, online
Websites.
platforms. Okay, online platforms such as websites. Yeah, then YouTube channels. Then some portals, online portals. So online sources are there. Websites are there. You can see blogs. Blog sites are there. You can see article sites. Yeah. So websites. Then anything else? Yes. Anything else from anyone else? I think you have got the answers. See, if you are given such questions in the examinations, you should answer in your own words. And when you prepare for examination, you should categorize your schedules, your time. don't give much time to some topics which are something general and on which you have got some ideas. And you have to give more time to some items which seem to be strange for you. So this is something simple, okay, sources of knowledge. So you have given the answers such as books, experts, media, then experience, then online, online sources or websites, blog sites, yeah. Then, yeah, I see you have given some sub answers, subtopics. For example, for experts, you have given parents, or sorry, elder people, then teachers, then peers. And when you write essays and paragraphs, you can include all these items in your paragraph. For example, if you're asked to write an essay on different sources of knowledge, you can write a paragraph on experts. And you can write about your parents, elder people, teachers, senior students, your peers in that particular paragraph. And this should be the style of writing essays in your examination. So, any other source from any other person? Just tell me if you have got the answer. Yes. So all these are some wonderful answers. Then I may show you some other points too. Okay, we can just go to the presentation. So I just want to present the item. Yes. Yes. Are you able to see sources of knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So first one, perception. And this perception can be a way of knowing too. I will tell you later. Perception. Then memory, right? Right? Then experience. Oh, this is told by some of you. Books, journals, experts, problems. Can you tell that problems as a source of knowledge? Do you believe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, problems. So you should welcome problems. Okay. Well, then research. I mean, not the process of research, but the research reports. Yeah. Or the, yeah. Then seminar, workshop, conference, webinar, websites, media. So all these are some sources of knowledge. What is perception? What is perception?
Assumption.
Outlook.
Yeah, we may tell outlook perceive, we see something, we perceive something, okay, outlook. Or technically, it has got some meaning. And this topic is there in your psychology paper, sensation and perception. I will tell more about this sensation and perception when I will be discussing sensation and perception in psychology. I may just give you a glance or just give you a short description of this perception. See, we have got some sense organs, yeah, right? We have got 5 sense organs, and there is a process called sensation. When one of our sense organs contacts with something, sensation occurs. For example, When you see a person, your sense organ called sight contacts with an object. When you taste something, your sense organ called taste contacts with some item. When you smell something, again, your sense organ contacts with something. When you hear something or listen to something, your sense organ contacts with something. So, this is sensation. And when there is sensation, a message is gone to your brain. And that process is called perceiving or perception, process of perception. So you are interpreting the item. For example, when you just bite a bitter fruit, you will interpret bitter. Yeah. When you when you take some ice cream, you will interpret. Yeah. So this is perceiving, the process of perceiving. And by using this sensation and perception, you just keep some items in your mind, and these items can be taught as perceived items, and these perceived items can be used as a source of knowledge. How? Can you tell me how can you use this one as a source of knowledge? Yeah. How can you? Tell me. You have perceived something by using your sense process of sensation, and you keep something in your mind by interpreting some items. And later, this perception will be a source of knowledge for you. Yes, tell me. I may give you a very, very simple example. Yes, I may give you a very, very simple example. Now, see, during your childhood days, you see the picture of a doctor, an image of a doctor with what is that? What is the instrument? The name of the instrument which is used by the doctor? Yes, tell me.
Stethoscope.
Yes, stethoscope. Yeah. So you happen to see an image of a person with a stethoscope, and your parents tell you that it's a doctor, right? And you perceive this one, okay? Whenever you see some pictures of such people, that means your sense organ called sight contacts with an image of a person with a stethoscope, and you just interpret that it's a doctor. And when you happen to go to a hospital, and if you sit there outside the doctor's room, because the sister has told you that doctor is not there, and if after a few minutes a person comes there with a stethoscope without asking to the sister whether he is the doctor, your perception will tell you that he is the doctor whom you are waiting for meeting. So your perception, the perceived item becomes a source of knowledge. Yes, what idea? Right?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Yeah. So perception becomes a source of knowledge. I think it's clear. Then the second thing, memory. Memory can be a source of knowledge. How? Can you give me an example for that? Memory can be a source of knowledge. Yes.
നമ്മൾ
Memory
എക്സാമിന്
can,
പഠിച്ചിട്ട് എഴുതുന്നില്ലേ?
yeah. Yes, we by heart something. We by heart something and we keep these items in our brain. And when we write our examination, maybe the topic may be different. The topic may be different, but memory can be used as a source of knowledge. For example, you have kept something in your mind. You have kept something in your mind and you're asked another question related to some other topics in your examination, and you want to write some examples for that topic, then your memory will be a source of knowledge. But there are different types of memory. We will tell or we will discuss different types of memory in our psychology paper. There is active memory, there is passive memory. I may tell you an example. When during my degree courses, at times when I enter the examination hall, I felt myself frustrated and irritated when seeing some out of syllabus questions. When I had studied an essay during my pre-degree days, my financial career. Then I just thought that I just became just like the writer who had entered the bank for creating a bank account. So here my memory tells that my present state is just like that person, and this is because of my anxiety. So if I can overcome this anxiety, there will not be any sort of problems inside the examination hall. So this one kept in my memory acts as a source of knowledge. Or if you ask some questions in a quiz program, you will be able to answer the questions just because you have kept something in your memory. So memory also becomes a source of knowledge, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now comes experience, and this is told by some of you, and I think there is no need for explain. All of you have got different knowledge from different experiences. You have got the knowledge of different personalities through your experiences with some people. And this is considered as one of the greatest sources of knowledge. I see when you become teachers, I think you should try to make use of the experiences of your students to teach them different items. And it is called something like previous knowledge. Yeah. The previous knowledge of your students will be more useful for you when you become teachers. Because when you ask some questions to make them share their experiences, and through these actual experiences, if you enter a lesson or a topic, when you teach something inside your classroom, it will be more effective. Nowadays, most of the teachers are teaching all the things just by showing some points on on the screen by using PowerPoint or something like that, and they just define different terms. They just tell different points. They just tell categories of different topics. But if you just connect all these items with the actual life experiences of your students, it will become a great source of knowledge for your students. And see, you always should learn something from your personal experiences. Maybe bad experience or maybe good experience. And never expect only good experiences in your life. You should welcome bad experiences also, because when there is a bad experience, you will get more knowledge. So experience is one of the most greatest sources of knowledge. Then comes books. I told you that whenever we are asked what different sources of knowledge are, the first thing which will come to our mind will be books. And reading books will be giving you more and more knowledge. And nowadays, we are not reading books because we have got everything on our finger. And we're just searching for some points, only some points, some important points. I told you yesterday, or I just discussed something in that video, difference between knowledge and information. If you have to get knowledge, you have to read more and more books. That is something important. Books are the greatest sources of knowledge. When you read books, you get knowledge at the same time. You will be enjoying. You will be getting some pleasure, some aesthetic pleasure as well. So books are one of the greatest sources of knowledge, no doubt. I think if you ask any person in this world, what are the sources of knowledge? You can get this point from anyone, right? I think there is no need for more explanation, yes, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. So the most important thing is that you should be able to select books, right, on the basis of your intention or on the basis of your purpose. If you want to improve your creativity, then you should read some literary books or literature. If you want to expand your academic knowledge, you should read some reference books or textbooks. Yeah. If you want to get some general knowledge, then you should read some books which are discussing general books. And selection of books is something important. And I think if you keep a teacher for selection of books, it will be more useful for you. Or you can ask some people which book I have to read for expanding this type of knowledge. This selection of book is something important, because sometimes we may read this and that without any use, just for time passing. And we will not be getting any sort of knowledge. We will not be getting any sort of aesthetic pleasure. We are reading something without any intention. There should not be any sort of aimless reading, purposeless reading. When you read something, there should be a purpose. And with a purpose, you should read. And only when you read something with a purpose, it will be useful for you, right? Then comes journals. And these are some academic sources of knowledge. And if you read some journals, you will get some academic knowledge. And at the same time, you will get some idea how to write an article. See, if you want to write an article, and if you want to publish your article in a journal, You should read journals. And when you read journals, you will get the technical terms which are often used in articles. And you will get the style of writing which is used in writing the article in journals. See, if you're writing something in an academic journal, you may have to use some technical terms, some academic terms, some terms which are used in academic corners. So journals are also sources of knowledge. See, if you get time, you just go through some journals. It will give you more knowledge, and it will give you more idea on articles, how to write articles, how to compose articles, how to arrange different points in an article, how to explain different points in an article, how to show the reference, the citation, the bibliography. So for getting all these types of knowledge, you have to read journals. So journals are also a source of knowledge. Yes, right? Well, I think you're able to follow me because I'm not seeing you because I just look at the presentation. If I come to the meet platform, then the presentation will not be there. Yeah, right? Then comes experts. You have taught. Anyone can be an expert. Maybe your classmate, maybe your son. Yeah, right. See, there is a very beautiful poem written by Wordsworth. In that poem, you can see, child is the father of man. Can a child be a father of man? What is that? Yes, sometimes your child, your son, will be giving you more information. When we are attending the class for our PhD coursework, at times some teachers are dealing with the class with the help of their children because their children have got more expertise in the case of ICT. See, experts does not mean some elder people who have got some formal knowledge. Experts can be anyone, your classmates, your parents. At times, you may be more educated than your parents, but in some topics, your parents can give you more knowledge. So maybe your classmates, maybe your peers, maybe your local peer group, maybe your campus peer group, maybe your senior students, maybe your junior students at times. And see, I have told you that never feel ashamed to ask or to clear your doubts by asking some people who have got more expertise than you in some topics, even if they are inferior to you in any sort of socio-cultural, educational, and economic background. I have told you that now I have got different websites, but till 2011, I had not been even aware of the platforms, the online platforms where we could create websites free of cost. I hadn't got any idea on that. And during the academic year 2011 and 12, I had got a student, and his name was Nisha from Trivandrum, and he taught me how to create a website by using a hosting site called Yola. And I have got different knowledge from different students. See, if your students are more experts than you in some topics, never feel ashamed to clear your doubts by asking them. And you have to find time to talk with people for expanding your knowledge space. During the academic year 2017-19, there was a student called Rahima. When I had given them the task documentary, creation of documentary. She was thinking about the topic which she had to select. And one day she was on the way back to home and she was inside a bus. And there was an elder lady who had not been educated. And she just discussed the matter with that lady. And that lady gave her some instructions, some directions, some suggestions. And on the basis of the suggestions given by that uneducated lady, Rahima selected the topic such as the negligence of children towards their old parents. So you can get more and more knowledge from some people who have got more expertise than you in some topics. So my dear students, never feel ashamed to ask people to clarify your doubts. So experts are a source of knowledge. Yes. Can any one of you give me an experience that you have got some knowledge from some people? Yes. Can any one of you give me an example? An experience. Tell me an experience. Tell us an experience. Yes. Can any one of you? So I have told you, I have got some knowledge from my students. I learned how to create a website from Nishant. I learned something from Jesse. I learned how to create some classes by using Explain to You from Jesse, your classmate and my student. I learned about something in Kind Master from Vaishak and Ashwin. I got lots of points, lots of ideas related to Indian philosophy from Remit. So can you tell me some experience? So all these are experts because in the case of philosophy, Remit is has got more expertise than me. In the case of technology, Swadik, your senior student, has got more expertise than me. So you can tell me any experience. I think you're able to follow me, right? Yeah. Yes. Anyone can share an experience. Or I think this is not a work, this is not a compulsory work. If you are interested to tell something about one of your experiences in which you have got some ideas from some people from whom you have never expected that you would get such knowledge. Okay, you can record your voice and you can send me if you want. This is not a work, this is not a compulsory work. If you can do voluntarily, then you can do that. So experts are sources of knowledge. Problems. Do you believe that problems can be a source of knowledge? Do you believe? Yes. Do you believe? Yeah, because problems. I think you should welcome problems. This does not mean that you should create problems. Okay. After creating problems, don't tell anyone that Hatip sir has told us to create problems. I didn't mean that you should create problems. I told you, you should expect problems. You should welcome problems. You should not invite problems. Okay. When there is a problem, you should not become disappointed. You should not become desperate. That is what I meant. You should not create problems and you should not invite problems. But when there are problems, you should welcome. Because when there is a problem, you will be preparing for overcoming those problems and you will learn some new knowledge or you will acquire some new knowledge by which you can solve similar problems in the future. Yes, got the idea? Got the idea?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, nowadays I'm learning driving. Okay, you may be wondering, this person is learning driving at this age. I'm sorry, I was not raised in driving, and I do not believe that driving is something which is to be shown to others. I don't believe in heroism in driving, and now I have become badly in need of learning driving. So I just started learning driving or practicing driving before a couple of weeks. Then I got the learner's license. Then one day I was riding the scooter. A car was just behind me. I just reached that junction and I had to turn rightwards to come to our college. And I just switched on the indicator showing that I'm going to turn my scooter rightwards. And I just stopped the scooter there at the left corner. And the car driver who was driving the car just behind me hadn't expected that. And he just adjusted. He just adjusted not to knock at my scooter and he was showing some gestures to me. And on that day, I realized that when we switch on the indicator to turn rightwards, the drivers, the vehicles just behind us will be just keeping their vehicle to the left side. We should not expect them that they would overtake us to the right side. This was the knowledge I got with that problem. Though I got angry at first time, later I just thought about my own action and I realized that it was my fault. So nowadays there is no problem like that when I drive my scooter. So problems give us some knowledge. So I told you that never try to create problems, never invite problems, but when there are problems, just welcome the problems. And these problems can be a source of knowledge for you in the future because you will get some skills to solve the problems in the future. Yes, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then research. So different types of knowledge are there. We told that experimental knowledge is there. So if you have to get some experimental knowledge, then there should be research. And see if you are facing some general problems. For example, if you are facing some problems at schools, how can you solve the problem? You have to conduct a study. Yes, am I right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you have to conduct a research. For example, in a school, you see that most of the students are showing a particular sort of behavioral pattern. And this behavioral pattern creates a problem for you. And you cannot reach a conclusion. You cannot, you cannot, you cannot try to solve this problem with your prejudice. But you have to conduct an action research. You can just prepare a questionnaire and you can just distribute the questionnaires to the students. And by getting the data, you can know about, you can find out the real causes behind that particular behavioral pattern. So research give you authentic knowledge, right? Researchers give you authentic knowledge, or experimental knowledge, or scientific knowledge, and which is considered as a real truth in this modern world. So researchers are a source of knowledge. Research also is a source of knowledge. Then comes seminars. Yeah, right. Just like experts, and you can see seminars. In seminars, you can listen to the speeches by different experts. And seminars will be giving you systematic knowledge. Because some people will come there and they will present some papers, and these papers might have prepared by searching different references, and they can give you more ideas on different topics. And we have talked about experts, and in a seminar you can see lots of experts together. So they might have conducted some researches, they might have conducted some studies, and they would be presenting their findings. So you will get more authentic knowledge by attending seminars. And you also will be getting some idea how to present a paper in a seminar. That is something important. If you want to present a paper in a seminar before an audience, you should watch people who are presenting some seminar papers. So seminar also is a source of knowledge. Then workshop. What is the difference between workshop and seminar?
In workshop, we get practical knowledge.
Yeah, workshop, practical knowledge, or we can tell Vishnupriya, skill. Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Seminars would help you in expanding your knowledge. Yeah, your theoretical knowledge, your attitude, your concepts, your ideas. Yeah. Then workshops will be helping you in developing skills. For example, if there is a workshop in effective teaching, the people, the experts will come there and they will be demonstrating before you how to become an effective teacher. And they will be making you to perform something there. For example, you have got a workshop on drama and art in education. If it is a seminar, what will be there? The person will come there and he will be talking about different types of dramas, and he will be talking about different advantages of dramas in the field of education, and he will be talking about how to make use of drama and art when you are becoming teachers. Do you believe that you can do that when you are becoming teachers? Do you believe? Do you believe that by attending a seminar on how to make use of drama and art in teaching learning process, that you can make use of drama and art in your teaching? Do you believe so? Tell me. Tell me, do you believe so? By attending a seminar, can you do that? Tell me. See, before a couple of days, there was a program, there was a function by language departments. I I have heard that Mr. Abdul Hamid was dealing a workshop. I think the students, the participants got some wonderful experience there because he was not presenting a seminar paper, but he was just giving you some demonstrations and he was making you do something by using your systems or something like that. Yes, am I right? Anyone from the language students, tell me, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there is, if you want to develop your skill, seminars cannot do anything, but workshop will be there. Workshop should be there. In a workshop, you can see that the participants also are requested to do something by getting the instructions and demonstrations, by watching the demonstrations given by the expert. So you can make use seminars for as a source of knowledge, and you can make use workshop as a source for developing knowledge as well as skill, right? Yes. Then comes conference, again just like seminar. You can tell, you can see some experts in a conference. In the case of seminars, there will be interactions. A person will present a paper before you, then you can ask some questions and something like that. In a conference, different experts will come there and they will be delivering some speeches, right? Then webinars. This is the web form of seminar. All the advantages you can see in the case of seminar can be seen in webinar, and there is a special advantage. There is an extra advantage that in a webinar, if there is a webinar, thousands of people can attend a webinar on the go because it has got some web platform. It is online, right? Then comes websites. As you told, this is the web form of books. You can tell, you can get more and more knowledge, and you see nowadays, so thousands, not thousands, not lakhs, not crores, millions of websites or billions of websites are there. So you can get knowledge, and by using website you can get knowledge on the go because you can read something in a website by sitting inside your bus, by sitting in the train, by sitting at a coffee shop. So everything has become on the go. Learning on the go is there. Acquiring knowledge on the go is there after the emergence of websites. Then comes media, newspapers and such things. And all these online platforms also can be included in media. And see, newspapers, the print media or the newspapers can be a very good source of knowledge, a great source of knowledge, especially in the case of expanding our general knowledge. So all these are different sources of knowledge. Have you got any doubt? Then ask me. Or whether any one of you have got anything to tell, anything to add, then you can just add. Tell me. Right? Can we move? Can we move forward? Yes. Tell me. Has any one of you got anything to tell me? So this is something about sources of knowledge. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Do you want to add more? Anyone?
clear.
Okay, so like now we have to think about ways of knowing, or methods of knowing. So you have got some sources of knowledge. And now I think that you can tell me some ways of knowing. Just thinking about these sources of knowledge. Yes, yes, you have taught. You have got some ideas on different sources of knowledge, and I feel that is very simple. It's very easy to tell about the ways of knowing, or ways to get knowledge, or the methods to get knowledge by looking at these sources. Just tell me what are the different ways of knowing. What are the different ways of knowing? Just think about the sources. Perception is a source, expert is a source, book is a source, experience is a source. And how
Experiential knowledge, perceptual knowledge, like that.
yes, but I ask, how can you get knowledge? That is the ways of knowing. For example, books are there. And how can you get knowledge from books?
By reading.
Yeah, very, very simple.
By reading.
Yeah, by reading.
Uh,
See, in our library, there are about 6,000 books. And if you just walk and if you just pass the library, knowledge will not come to you from the book. You have to enter the library and you have to read the book. Right? Yes. So we can start from the first. Perception is a source of knowledge. Then what is a way of that knowledge? And
observation.
Observation, or you can say sensation. Okay, observation is observation is a way. Observation is a way, because through observation we will get some experience, or we will get some idea. Or in the case of perception, we may make use of the term, I told you, that sensation. Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Process
Yeah.
of sensation. For example, you see a fruit. You see a fruit, and you ask a person, what is the taste of that fruit? Can you get accurate knowledge? Can you get accurate knowledge?
No.
No. Then what should you do? What should you do?
We have to eat that fruit to get
Yes, we have to eat that fruit. That is the correct answer. We have to eat that fruit. That means our sense organ called, or our sense called taste, or our sense organ for taste, that is our tongue, should contact with that object, and this process of the contact between an object and one of our sense organs is called sensation. Then, my dear students, the most important, or one of the most effective ways which you can make use for providing knowledge to your children is making their sense organs contact with different objects as much as possible during their childhood days. And see, we have learned something about Piaget's schematic theory. New schema or new schemata should be stored in the cognitive domain of our children. For that, you should make your children use their sense organs as much as possible to contact with different objects during the childhood days itself. And you're getting the point, yes? Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
You might have heard about Maria Montessori. Actually, in the previous syllabus, the BS students had to learn something about Maria Montessori's children's home. Now it is not there. This person is not included in the syllabus. And you might have heard Montessori schools. Actually, this Maria Montessori was not a teacher. She was the first lady doctor in Italy. And she introduced her educational institution called Children's Home. After getting an opportunity to give some treatment for some feeble-minded children. Feeble-minded children means some children who have got some mental problems. I mean, not the psychotic problems, but who are some who are some slow learners, or who have got some weak intelligence, who have got some weak thinking capacity. And she happened to deal with some children who had got some feeble minds, and she found that the real cause behind this state of mind had been lack of opportunities, or lack of opportunities to make use of their sense organs during their childhood days. I think you're able to follow me, yes?
Yes, sir.
So during the childhood days, or during the early stage of life, we should make use of sensation, or we should make our children indulge in the process of sensation. I mean, you should make them see more objects. You should make them taste more food items, more fruits, different types of fruits. You should make them hear to different types of voices. You should make them touch different surfaces. I think you have got a point. See, whenever you are learning or you're studying something like base of knowledge or sources of knowledge, then you should think about how I can make my children make use of all these sources of knowledge and ways of knowing. So sensation, that is making use of one's own sense organ, is a way of knowing, or a way of getting knowledge. Then experts. Then what is the way? What is the way which you can use the? Tell me. Yes. Tell me. Yes.
Interaction.
Interaction. Yes. You're correct. Interaction with experts. Listening to experts. Listening to experts. See, whenever you are traveling by a train, if you see a person and if he or she starts speaking something on a topic which is strange to you, never show any sort of distaste, never show any sort of distress. See, whenever your parent starts telling something, whenever some elder people in your home tell something about some topics which are strange for you, whenever your classmates are trying to explain some of her experiences, you should not show any sort of distress. Is a way. And if you have got some doubts, just ask the experts, clarify your doubts. Don't show any sort of shyness. So interaction, casual talks, listening to experts. I have told you that experts means not some people who have got some formal education. Any person who have got better knowledge on a topic, then you can be considered as an expert, and you should interact. You should listen to them. You should clarify your doubts. So through clarifying doubts, through asking, through interacting, you can get knowledge. Yes, that's a wonderful answer. Then anything else? Then observation. Remy told this answer, observation. Through observation, you can get knowledge. You can get great degree of knowledge. See, when you travel, never hide your head and face into the mobile phone. Just look around you. Just observe different people. Just observe the nature. Just observe the animals. You can get knowledge. Observation is a way of knowing. Observing people, by observing people, you can get knowledge about different types of personalities. By observing to nature, you may get different knowledge on different aspects of nature, on different aspects of this universe. So observation is another way of knowing. So sensation and perception is there. Sensation and perception is a way of knowing. Then clarifying our doubts, listening to experts, interacting with experts, then observation. Then there is an the oldest way of knowing is there, and that is imitation. And see, we have learned about something called vicarious learning theory by Dr. S. Bandura. And during the childhood days, children always try to imitate elder people. And by imitating, we get some knowledge and skills. And here also, we have got some duty. As teachers, you should show only some fair behavioral patterns before your students, because they will try to imitate you. Imitation is a way of knowing. And most of the times we are getting or we are acquiring some behavioral patterns by imitating. See, if you want to improve your communication skill, you can imitate some people who are communicating in a wonderful manner. For example, I have shown you some speech by Manoj Vasudevan during your first semester. And nowadays, I have seen some YouTube video by a person I have forgotten his name, a youngster from India, and he's communicating in a wonderful manner in English language. And he's giving some instructions in different aspects of Photoshop. I just watched his class and I was wondering. So I was attracted by his way of communication. Now I may send you the link of that video of that person. Okay. So imitation is another way of knowing. So we have told imitation, then sensation and perception, then observation, then listening to experts, then as Remy told, reading. Reading is a way of knowing, and reading is an amazing way of knowing. And at times we purchase books and we keep all the books in the shelf. I have recited in Holy Quran about Kimaru Yahmiluna Asfar, donkeys who are carrying on their shoulders something. And if we have got some books and if we are not reading, we will be just like donkeys who are carrying some luggage on their shoulder. It is told that donkeys never know. Donkeys haven't got any idea on what they are carrying on their shoulders, but they are just carrying all these things without knowing what they are carrying on their shoulder. And if we have got some books, lots of books, and if we are not reading books, we will be just like donkeys who are carrying some luggages on our shoulders. So I think the time is 10:55. Now only 31 people are there. I do not know what happened to others. There were 39 people in the beginning, and I think 6 people left, maybe because of some technical errors. So I feel that all of you will be keeping your self-discipline, not only during the offline classes, but also during the online classes. And I hope that all of you can keep your self-discipline even when you are becoming teachers. I hope that you can keep your self-discipline throughout your life. Now the time is 10:56. We have got a few more ways of knowing. So I will be discussing that remaining ways of knowing, maybe in the next class or in a video which I will post on YouTube, and I will send the link of that video to you later. So we can just stop the class here, and if you have got any doubt, you can just ask me. Otherwise, you can just leave the class and see. Please join your optional class at sharp time. I just try to keep your punctualities if you haven't got any genuine excuse. Thank you very much for listening to me for more than 1 hour with patience, and thank you for making this class more live with your answers, with your points, with your views. Thank you very much. You can just leave the class. Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, welcome, my dear students.